Howdy, welcome to Comp 2. This is English 1020, section IF1 for fall 2020. My name is Eric Fish. I'll be teaching the class. The I in IF1 stands for Internet, and this is going to be an asynchronous Internet course. We're not going to be in D2L all at the same time or in a Zoom meeting or anything like that. Students who sign up for asynchronous courses generally don't want that. They're all on different schedules and quite often can't be at one spot at one time. So this is asynchronous. With this first video, I'm going to go over D2L real quickly, then go over the syllabus real quickly. Most of you are probably familiar with D2L, but maybe a couple of you aren't. Maybe you had Comp 1 a while back, or you're transferring from somewhere else. But on the course homepage, you're going to see the Camille Pissarro painting. That's at the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. If you ever want to go see it yourself, it's a beautiful painting. And you're going to see the announcements on this first page. Generally, that's going to take the form of reminders of what's coming due. You can also scroll down if you want to know more about me. You can go to my LinkedIn page, which I'll be updating along with my Comp 1 students here in a little bit. On the home page for the course, some of these tabs are very important. The content tab is probably the most important. We're going to take a look at that. And if it kind of comes out like, which is like help resources or something, you can't see anything else, you need to come up to table of contents and click on table of contents. So you can scroll down the whole thing, or you can just use the what's that called? The tabs here on the left. But under course documents, you're going to see the course schedule and the addendum to the syllabus, which we'll go over here in a second. You'll also see the first two exercises, which are coming due on Friday, the syllabus quiz and the formatting exercise. And there are two YouTube videos that are going to show you how to do that. Below that, you see the readings and viewings. These will be links to things we're reading in the course. We also have the textbooks, and we'll talk about those here in a little bit. But I also send you to different places on the internet or within the course to read as well. There's also the YouTube videos. You don't see YouTube video number 1 because this is YouTube video number one, and I'm still making it, obviously. It just shows you how to create MLA documents in Word and upload it to D2L, how to do it in Google Docs, upload it to D2L, how to complete the syllabus quiz. If you had Comp 1 here in Northeast State, you're probably going to do that pretty quickly on your own anyway. You're going to see some help resources. And as the course starts building, you're going to start seeing essay assignments and things like that coming onto the content page. So when I say I put it on the content page, this is what I'm talking about. Or if I say, watch YouTube video 1, 2, and 3 on the content page, you come to these YouTube videos, click on those and watch those. The assignments, when I say put it in the Dropbox folder, Dropbox folder's under assignments. Again, YouTube videos 2 and 3 show you how to put something in a Dropbox if you haven't done that before. Again, probably most of you have. But also, you have the class list. If you want to email me, you can just come to the class list, click my name, and send me an email. When I want to email the entire class, I just come here, click on this, click email, and I can email the whole class all at one time. That's why we want to do all our correspondence and questions and stuff through the D2L email, if at all possible. One thing, be careful if you do what I just did and click that and click email. You're about to email the whole class. If you're telling me, why you're not turning something in, you're telling me some business, some of your personal business, which you generally probably shouldn't anyway, but you're about to send it to the whole class. So make sure you double check that. One other tab that's important will be grades. For your grades, it's a nice nice list of the grades that we're going to start filling that in as we go through the course. For my view, let me show you what it looks like. Oh, there's no grades in there. Eventually. There it goes. But I got a feeling all these blanks all the way across. So if it's quite possible I'm going to transpose a grade or something. So if there's ever a problem with the grade book, like you earned 100 on something, I put a 90 for the grade, email me real quickly, say, hey, the wrong grade, can you double check that? And generally it's just a mistake I've made, put it in the wrong place. And this is the official grade book for the course, so you want to make sure you let me know if there's a problem, because this is what I'm going to download at the end of the semester and turn into Northeast State. Eventually we'll get into discussion boards with the responses, but they're right there under discussions. So Not too hard to find. One other thing, if you're kind of new to D2L, when you want to check your email, you want to get out of the course and then hit the email icon, which is this little envelope. If you just hit the envelope, you're only going to see emails that are relevant to that particular course. So if like you're in a speech class looking for my email, you're never going to see it. So make sure you do that before you get into an individual course. If you want to check your email, and just hit the email icon there, and it'll open your emails for you. That's about it. I want to get into the syllabus. Again, that's located on the content page. I got it up here in Word so I can make it bigger and easier to read and stuff. Again, my name is Eric Fish. D2L is the preferred way to communicate in a course. D2L just totally collapses. We got a lot of problems. But you can email me at the Northeast State email address. But if you do that, I generally don't know who partyboy58 is at gmail.com, right? So it's very easy for me to skip past an email because I don't recognize who's sending it to me. If you're going through My Northeast to access D2L and My Northeast is down, like it is right now, you can go straight to D2L with this this web address right here. D2L is on a separate server, thank goodness. My office location and phone number, probably not going to be there much during the semester because of COVID and all this. I'm teaching all online. If you want to meet in person, that's fine. We can set up an appointment for a day and time. But if you just kind of walk by my office hoping I'll be there, I'm not going to be there. Same thing, don't leave me phone messages. Email me through D2L. That's the best way and the most efficient way to contact me. Course description is Comp 2. We're going to be writing about literature. It's still a composition course. We're going to be focusing on your writing, on incorporating research into your writing, grammar, sentence structure, all that fun stuff. But we're going to be doing it while we're reading short fiction, poetry, drama, maybe a little nonfiction. So you got to learn to think, argue, and write in a logical manner. If you're used to doing book reports where you just kind of give a plot summary of something, we're not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to say over and over, don't give me plot summary. I've already read that short story 500 times. What are you thinking about it? That's going to be the point of the course. And again, you should be learning to read and write critically, recognize literary genres, write analytically, use research tools. Kind of a continuation of Comp 1. In fact, it is a continuation of Comp 1. It's Comp 2. For the book, hold on a second. This is the official book for the course. It's a brand new book, the 13th edition of the Norton Introduction to Literature. If you can buy it if you want to, but I'm also going to provide page numbers for the 12th edition, which is what we used this past summer and in previous semesters. And this, you can probably get this for somewhere for $5 at this point, because this book made this book about pointless in a way. But you can use this book. We're not gonna. There's no really good new readings in this new book, as far as I can tell. There might be a couple that I just didn't notice, but you can use the 12th edition of the book if you know someone who has that and just want to give them $5 for the book, or if you're gonna go to Mr. K's or whatever. Also, if you kind of pay attention to this note, I'm going to provide links to all the readings. Either they're going to be located in D2L, or I'm just going to give you the link outright so you can go on the web and find that particular reading from the textbook. So it's kind of up to you. You know, I'm old school. I'd want a book to read. My eyes get a little blurry once I start reading on screen a lot. If you got better eyes than I do, which is probably likely, and you want to read things on screen, I'll provide those links for you. So kind of up to you. And this is an internet class. I'll never know if you bought the book or not, right? But be careful. We are reading like full-length plays. Those can kind of get tiring for the eyes if you're reading on screen, but if you're good with that, that's up to you. For the basic grading breakdown, I'm going to go to page 9. And, yeah, page 9. And you'll see a grading sheet there. That a little smaller, actually. And you'll see all the work we're doing for the semester. Every little assignment is important. You don't want to skip assignments or it's going to cost you some points, right? And that's kind of the way I like to do internet courses. I don't like a lot of busy work. Everything should have, point values, and you should be able to tell why we're doing that in the course. It doesn't mean you're going to like a particular reading or anything, but hopefully you'll be able to see how it fits into everything else. We're going to have 3 major essays. The first one's on fiction, the second one on drama, the third one on poetry. Everybody's favorite, writing about poetry. Then we'll do a final exam at the end. That kind of counts as an essay number 4. Along the way, we'll be doing responses. That's where I'm going to check to make sure you're doing the reading and thinking about what's going on in the lectures and things like that. And of course, we got a couple of exercises on the front end to make sure everybody is functional in D2L and knows how to produce the Word documents. Total of 1,010 points. 90% is an A, 80% is a B, 70% is a C. Hopefully nobody gets below that. But you can use that grade sheet to kind of keep track of your grades as I'm putting them into D2L. It's a little bit easier maybe to see a problem there if you're keeping track of your own grades. Some course policies. Just going to go over a couple of them. Again, you're going to do a syllabus quiz. You don't need me to read all this to you. But the two that are in boxes and all bolded and underlined and I kind of don't do exclamation points too much, but I would if I could. One, if there's a problem, you got to contact me and let me know what's going on. Even if it's something little like, hey, I can't find the syllabus quiz, email me real quickly. I'll say, it's there under course documents, and you'll probably go like, oh, it's right there in front of me. That's not your problem. You found it, and now you can complete the assignment, right? Same thing, sometimes if you email me and say, hey, I can't find this thing, I might be seeing it home going like, ooh, I didn't post it. Let me, and I'll get on there and put it up there. But if you don't tell me the problem, I can't help you. So make sure you're staying in communication with me. Don't go missing in the course for 2 or 3 weeks and then come back and say, I'm back. It's like, well, great. You're way behind now. Plus, it's hard to remember what you've done 3 weeks ago, right? One other thing, if you do want to question a grade with an essay or response paper or whatever, make sure you kind of do that within a week of receiving the grade. I don't have like a 7-day clock running when I send something back, but you can't just wait till this semester and kind of want to pull out all your papers and try and find, those 10 points or whatever. Saving your work. Make sure you have backup copies of everything you do. You can have it on a thumb drive. You can email it to yourself. Once you submit it in D2L, you got a backup copy. But don't tell me your computer crashed and you lost your essay and now what do you do? It's because when you start writing, that's what you do, right? Make sure you have backup copies. Save it somewhere. Even if you're in Google Docs and you think Google Docs can't possibly go down, well, maybe your little brother can get in there and delete your Google Doc files, and then you have a big problem, right? Had a few problems with exes getting into their former partners' computers and wreaking havoc. Make sure you have backup copies. Just get paranoid about that, right? Also, make sure you save all graded work. It's kind of hard not to in an internet course because I'm sending it back to you through D2L. But if I do that, you delete all your D2L email for no apparent reason. There's no reason to ever do that. You're deleting all the graded work, and you can't really prove you took the class. If I die in a fiery car crash the day before grades are due, can you prove you took this class? Hopefully, hopefully you can go back in D2L, get the emails of all the stuff I sent back to you, and say, hey, go to my dean and say, hey, I'm sorry about the Mr. Fish, but I need my grades so I can move on here. So be careful with that, and that's true with all your classes. It's hard to do a grade appeal if you don't have any of your graded work, right? The rest of it's pretty straightforward. I hope if something looks weird, be sure and let me know as you're doing the syllabus quiz. Some of this won't apply. Like there's an emergency statement. We're not in a building on Northeast State campus, so you're kind of going to read that and go like, oh, well, that was kind of silly. It's like, yeah, but I guess if your house is on fire, make sure you evacuate in an orderly manner. I'm stuck on fires today, aren't I? The class schedule starts on page 6. When something says due, it's due that day. So like this week, you should be viewing YouTube video number 1, which is this one. Number 2 and number 3 that shows you how to do the introduction paragraph and syllabus quiz. And then those 2 assignments are due on Friday. They're due at midnight. I'm not actually up at 11:59 at night. So as long as if you're a Nighthawk and you turn it in at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, I'll never know because I'm going to just get up on the next morning and just download it all and start grading it. I don't check when it was put in there as long as it's in there when I download it, right? After that, when it says something says read, you should have it read for that day, and then you'll have to do that response for that day. So next Tuesday, the 25th, you should have read Plato's The Myth of the Cave and done response number 1 and submitted that into the Dropbox. With some of these responses, we might start doing discussion boards. But for the first couple, I want to make sure you can use the Dropbox, that we're getting back into MLA formatting, that you know how to do the works cited entries and how to quote from the works and things like that. Particularly handy if you've been you took Comp 1. Some people are like, well, I took it in a different millennium, Mr. Fish. But we're going to go over MLA formatting and make sure everybody's up to speed there. Plus, it's just MLA formatting is not something you tend to keep in your head too much. So we're going to start with fiction and maybe a little bit of nonfiction. I'll show you where the page numbers are. When it says see chart, I'm about to show you where that's at. Then we'll start the first essay. Sorry, got a little distracted there. With essays, you're going to send me the first 2 paragraphs so I can make sure you're on the right track. You'll turn in a draft. Then I'm going to do peer reviews where I'll send out the reviews. I'll send out reviews for you to do on 2 other students, and they're going to look at your essay. And then eventually get those back to you, and then you'll turn in the final version. Sometimes while you're waiting on me to review the peer reviews, I'm going to have you be doing work. We're just not going to sit around on our on our thumbs doing nothing. But you're going to see that basic writing process. You probably learned in Comp 1 that pre-writing exercises, which is a lot of the reading and the responses, the drafting, which is you writing the essay, the revising and editing through the peer reviews and my feedback, and then the final stage will be you submitting that essay for a grade. But we'll start with the fiction, then move on to drama. We'll end with the poetry. The reason we end with poetry is generally that's a shorter essay. It doesn't involve research. So we're kind of ending the class on the easiest. It's not easy. It's not an easy essay, but it's easier maybe or less time consuming than the other 2. We have a little short final exam, so only 10% of the grade. And then the responsive 11 will be a kind of a course survey. But anything looks wrong with the schedule, be sure and let me know. But again, when it says due, it's going to be due on that day. And kind of notice at the beginning, it's quite a bit of reading. Something's due every Tuesday and every Friday in the course. We break it up twice a week. When I've tried to do internet courses with just 1 submission every week, students always wait till the very last minute to submit it. It's always bad work. So make sure you keep it up. Where it says C chart, or we can get there. There we go. I provided a chart once for the 13th edition, which is that brand new book, the green one. One set of page numbers is for the shorter 12th edition, which is the older version we've used. And I also provide internet links to the works. So it's kind of up to you again with the textbook, what you want to do. Over the summer, I did a second session Comp 2 course. And one of their big complaints was, why did we spend that money on the textbook when, it's okay. But, it's a great class. They were very good students, but at the end, they kind of took me to task on the textbooks. Like, we're not going to use it that much. Why can't you just give us links? And so here they are. You got them to thank if you're going to take advantage of that. And when we get to the plays, I'll fill those in with the links at that point. I think that's about it. Again, the most important thing with an internet class is to ask a question when you have one. Can't get back to that box. Again, if you don't tell me the problem, I can't help. Even for little problems, even little silly stuff, you want to communicate, keep small problems small so that they don't build up into bigger problems, right? But if you have any questions as we're getting started in the class, be sure to let me know. I'm looking forward to a good semester, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.